So we did this problem and we ended up with the A being 6 1/2 or negative 6.5. Both of these, of course, are saying the same thing. So that was how we work the problems with parentheses. Let's go and talk about this one, which has decimals, and this one, which is pretty straightforward. I'm going to box everything with the expression, bring down my variable with its multiply and divide partner, and then look at what's left in the box to get rid of. If this has already been brought down, I need to get rid of this negative 5. What's the opposite of negative 5? Plus 5. You could also say the opposite of subtract 5 is plus 5. Whichever way, that's how you get rid of that. But if you add 5 to the left side of our balance, we need to add 5 to the right side. 6 plus 5 is 11. Now, I still need to get b by itself. So how do I get rid of divide by 4? I multiply by 4. But I've got to do it on both sides. And putting 4 in parentheses like this means to multiply, the same as putting a dot by 4. It both means multiply. And 11 times 4 is 44. And the last problem in this set has this with decimals. Box in whichever side has the variable. Find its multiply and divide partner and bring it down. The whole multiply and divide with the variable. So that got rid of this. So what's left in my box to get rid of is minus 1.5. So I'm going to add 1.5. But if I add it to the right, I've got to add it to the left. So this is gone. So I still have this. So here my signs are different. I have negative 6 plus 1.5. It's kind of like saying I owe $6, but I put $1.50 on it. So now I still owe money. It's still negative, but now it's only 4.5. Or you could just take 6 minus 1.5, and I'm going to subtract because signs are different, and then take the side of the bigger number. Now, how do I get rid of this? A number right next to variable means multiply. So the opposite of multiply is divide. So I can get y by itself now. And 4.5 divided by 1.5, you could put that in the calculator and you would get a perfect 3. However, a negative divided by a positive is a negative, so don't forget your signs. Awesome. So we have now completed all problems 1 through 8. So you have a good set of examples, but I want to talk to you about these more difficult problems. They're multiple choice. They come from your accelerated math. And so I'm going to kind of separate the 3 problems here. I'm going to rewrite the problem. You should always do that because we need to work on it. Bring my equal sign down twice and draw my total line. Box in, bring down my variable and its partner. So I have p divided by 2 here. So here I need to get rid of negative 7. I'm going to add a positive 7. Let me add it here and it becomes plus 7. So a negative 9 plus 7. Signs are different. So I'm going to subtract, keep the sign of the larger number. Now I'm having to deal with the second step. My number, p, divided by 2. Well, the opposite of divide by 2 is times 2. So I get p, and then 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. So my answer is negative 4. Now this problem could very well give us a lot more trouble because look at that fraction. But we're going to work this together, and I'm going to remind you of all the tricks I've already taught you. Let's bring down our equal signs. Box in the side with the variable and bring down the variable with its multiply divide partner. I see plus 2, so I'm going to do the opposite of add 2 and subtract 2. 11 and 4/5 minus 2, I can just subtract the whole numbers and get 9 and 4/5. Now, there's 2 ways to solve this problem. And normally, some of you would change 7/10 to 0.7, and 4/5 you would put probably 9.8. But when I look up at my answers, I see that some of those answers have fractions in them, and I'm going to work hard to leave all the fractions alone. So I'm going to say this number is being multiplied by v, so I'm going to divide by 7/10. And I have taught you guys, I have a tear in my paper, you'll have to excuse that. I have told you guys that dividing fractions is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal. So I'm going to bring my v down. But what's going to happen here is I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal of 7/10, which would be 10/7. However, I can't multiply this while this is a mixed number. So I'm going to say 5 times 9 plus 4 to get 45 plus 4 is 49. I'm going to have 49 fifths times 10/7. I just changed this mixed number into an improper fraction. So now I can say 5 and 10 reduce, 7 and 49 reduce, 7 times 2 is 14, 1 times 1 is 1, and look at that. It turned into the whole number 14. So you probably could have changed that. You could have said 0.7v equals 9.8 and just divided by 0.7 with your calculator, and you would have gotten 14. All right, let's look at the last problem. It's actually not as hard because decimals are so much easier to use because you can just use a calculator. So I'm going to write my problem. Plus 0.6 equals 18 and 534 thousandths. Ugh, that sounds kind of gross. I'm not afraid of no decimals. Here we go. Box in the side with the variable. Circle my variable, whatever it's working with here. It's being multiplied by 1 and 47 hundredths. Get rid of this 0.6 or 6/10 by doing the opposite. So I'm going to subtract 6/10. You could add extra zeros and just do it with paper here. Or you could have used your calculator. There's either way. Now, I'm not going to do that without a calculator, that's for sure. This next step, you know what we've got to do. This number is being multiplied to my r. So I'm going to divide both sides by 1 and 4/7. I can get r to itself now. Let's get the calculator in on this. We're going to say 17 and 934 thousandths divided by 1 and 47 hundredths, 12.2, or 12 and 2/10. And there it is. What? I love math. Awesome. These were some challenging problems here. I'm super proud of you if you really worked them out with me and stuck with it. You will have to do a problem like this on your test. So I hope you've got this zoomed up. I hope you understand each step and that you can use this as an example on your quiz. And all together, be sure that you have put your number on your page and filled out your table of contents. All right. Favorite thing to teach. There it is. Two-step equations. You guys did awesome.